everybody and welcome to today's video. I'm finally coming along to review Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman, which I must have read like last year, beginning of last year. I pretty much read the 4 books maybe almost back to back and I absolutely loved them. So you can read the books in any order really, but I knew that there was the movie Practical Magic and that one seemed like quite a linear place to start. And so I kind of did it in that order. So yes, we are following 2 sisters, or basically the family of these witches, or they have like practical magic, little things that happen around them. Longing to escape the Massachusetts hometown that has always blamed their family for any little thing that goes wrong, our 2 main characters in this story, Gillian and Sally, sisters, respectively, marry and run away from their hometown, but are drawn back by seemingly magical forces. I ended up giving this a 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely adored this story. I think I might have done some blended reading with this one, listening to the audiobook and reading along physically. And I will say I do have some mild spoilers in this review because I kind of just gushed about everything. Yeah, so let me just put that out there now. If you haven't read the book, or I guess seen the movie, which I've yet to do, then don't go any further, I suppose. On talks of movies, I think there's like a TV show in the works or something exciting's happening. So yeah, really intrigued and so happy that I got the books finally read, because I've been wanting to read those novels for the longest time and I had such a blast doing so. So initially I was kind of apprehensive about getting into this story because there was no like distinct chapters, and I'm one of those people, I really like short chapters. It feels like I'm accomplishing something, and it's an easy place to kind of pause and put it away for the night. So looking at it with no chapters or no obvious signs of like breaks just felt really daunting to me. Honestly, I needn't really worry about that because everything just flowed so gentle in this beautifully storytelling way. The way everything just unfolded was so just smooth, I guess you could say. It was really helpful as well that it was broken into parts, so I did have that little bit of something to fall back on to kind of help direct the flow a little bit so it wasn't super fluid. I wasn't expecting so much of a generational saga, but I absolutely loved growing up with both Sally and Gillian as they went to live with their peculiar aunts in the section titled Superstition. I love a generational saga, especially when it's following like the matriarchal side, so it's especially like very strong female characters. So that was such a lovely surprise to me, and I really enjoyed like watching the same characters as well grow into different versions of themselves as the story progressed. It was really interesting to see the little bits of witchcraft that the family had, and from the little snippets of the movie that I've seen, like only small scenes out of context, I was surprised that there was a lot of hexing and manipulation of love. I don't know, I was not expecting that to be the kind of theme that they went through, but I really enjoyed it. It was really fascinating to see how both of the very opposite sisters felt about their magic and like their heritage, and also how everyone around them changed their views in different ways as they began to grow up and kind of grow into themselves, sometimes in a physical way, like into their looks, other times in a mental way, other times in a spiritual way. I felt like Sally was always getting the short straw of life, rather unfairly, truth be told, just for being kind, I guess bookish maybe, not as bold and outgoing as her sister. So just to shift gears a little bit and to talk about the aunts, because I feel like they are such an important like figureheads really in this story, because it kind of really starts from them, and then later on in the series you do have their perspective and their origins into this life, and a little bit of a beginnings of this magic. But yeah, the aunts, I found it so weird how fond of the aunts I was, despite them feeling more like off the page characters. But that fondness, as I say, it only grew more and more as I read more about them in their, you know, subsequent books. I missed them and the cats so much when we were following everyone else's lives. So yeah, I was really happy, you know, going fast forward and into the future, to read more about their upbringing, their lives, and kind of seeing how they got to the point of where they are in this book, in Practical Magic. The whole of this story was very whimsical and kind of that cozy, low stakes fantasy vibe that I really adore. It felt as if you were being narrated through this odd, strange little life that wasn't super out of the ordinary, but it was odd enough to make you second glance. I really liked that. I thought it was just so wholesome. I absolutely adored this, and I was so excited to get into the sequels, and that I did with great gumption, I think is the word. I absolutely ate these books up. I only have one regret, and that is not having my own copies. I mean, I don't regret borrowing from the library, because that is a resource that we need to utilize, especially now working for the libraries. Like, we need to utilize them and keep them thriving. But I just wish I had my own copies because I loved them so much. Anyway, that is it for today's review. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to let me know what you thought of Practical Magic, and maybe the other books as well if you've read them yourself. And the movie, do you find it to be a faithful adaptation? Did it take some liberties in its design and execution that you think were paid off quite well, or maybe went a bit flat? And also, have you heard about this bubbling information of a new TV series, or maybe even a new movie? I can't remember which one I heard, like a redo of Practical Magic, and if so, what are your thoughts on that? As I say, I've yet to watch the movie myself, but I am looking forward to eventually checking it out, because I think it's definitely going to meet the same sort of vibes as the books and do it quite well. I've seen quite a lot of praise for it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I shall catch you in another video soon. Bye.